Nothing in your life or our world is happening accidentally, except I will say that we are living at a time where you're supposed to love yourself a lot more. And sometimes that's really challenging. And but you have to understand love is an energy, and everything in our world is energy, and that's how it gets moved around. And when you can't love yourself, when you can't understand who you are, then or accept who you are, then you're not going to contribute to the world what you could. You see, that's what was going on for me. And sometimes your life can give you something that's a little challenging, and then it becomes really challenging for others to understand it. We exist in consciousness, and throughout time, people will come into the world and develop something that hopefully will give us all a better way of understanding how to live our lives and how to create a better world. And that's what I was given. But believing that was challenging for me and for everyone else because it's never come about in this way. And so me accepting that was so difficult, but I have to because I know what's going on in your life. I know what's going on in our world. None of it's accidental. It's all energetic shifts, which we have had before. Nazi Germany was not an accident. It was an energetic shift that happened, and we could do the same thing again. But Wilhelm gave us something different. What if each person could come to understand who they were? What if each person could move through their generational trauma and fear and lack of confidence and become more powerful? Except really what happens is you might have been controlled by the money. You thought maybe the money was going to give you everything that you wanted, except loving yourself was far more powerful. That's really what happens. So when I got up today, Wilhelm said, go look at the message we gave you in 2020. There's organization in your life and there's organization in our world. Now, you may not understand that, and many people don't. And it's just bizarre that I was given something that started showing the organization energetically of everything that was happening. And it was in order, and I've put it out there so many times, but still, it's difficult to believe something that we've never seen before, and that's what was going on for me. But first, I want to show you the message that they had me find today because it will help you to understand a lot more. May 21st, 2020. It may take time for you to come to know yourself. We are offering that statement to alert you that your entire life experience was meant to be one of continual discovery, evolving, and expanding. When you think of it in this manner, it seems quite logical to you, but many times as you move through your life and discover latent and valuable aspects of yourself, you may judge yourself or believe that somehow you have failed and you have not. Yesterday, we told you that Roger and his associate were going to do a test to see whether adding Roger's recorded voice to his online program would make a difference. We then said the result would be magnificent, which it was. Now we will tell you the essence of this message and our intent in delivering our communication all along has been aimed at this moment. We will post one of the many messages where we attempted to impart this information, but you couldn't hear us. Hopefully, many of you will listen to us now as well as your own voice. April 16th, 2018. Every voice is important, but the only one that matters is yours. Please take this message to heart, and the words used here were deliberate. You and all others come into the world eager to learn, grow, and evolve. You will seek to gain the information you need from voices of others who have come before. This process provides you with the opportunity to make choices so you come to know who you are. At times, you unknowingly make the voices of the others more authoritative than you merely a reference. When you decide that your voice is the most important, your life will not be the same. And that was challenging for me because I said, people aren't going to believe this. Because I didn't believe it. I've walked through I'm 74 years old. I've walked through every single difficulty and challenge that any person could possibly experience. Wilhelm has given me an answer to that. I continue to heal. It kept happening, and I'm still healing in ways that no one can understand. But the one thing that we can't change is our mindset. Because when something comes about in the world that's brand new, that's never been done quite in this way, people just won't believe it. And then what happens is those in power will continue to take over because they know they have control of your minds. Several years ago, I said I had the most powerful thing that could happen many, many years ago. I said, I have the most powerful thing and most important thing that any person could want, and that would be control of your consciousness. And people would say, well, how did you get that? Where did it come from? And now I'll show you. I sat down every single day and I received guidance every single day for 36 years. I started in 1989, and this is what it turned into. Wilhelm's messages go beyond inspiration. They bring about real, measurable inner transformation. That transformation happens because Wilhelm's guidance aligns with both universal laws of consciousness and modern scientific principles. It rewires the mind, neuroplasticity. Wilhelm's work guides you to see yourself differently, to question old patterns and choose new responses. That act alone begins to change the structure of your brain. Neuroscience calls this neuroplasticity, your brain's ability to rewire itself in response to new thoughts, beliefs, and experiences. Wilhelm helps you consciously shape your internal world, which shapes your outer life. It works with universal laws, quantum principles. Everything in the universe is energy, including your thoughts, emotions, and intentions. Wilhelm's teachings help you raise your energetic frequency by shifting your consciousness. This aligns with what quantum physics reveals, that observation and intention affect outcome. Wilhelm simply shows you how to use this universal truth in your everyday life. It heals emotional patterns, somatic awareness, and shadow integration. Many of Wilhelm's processes address that psychology calls the shadow, the parts of ourselves we repress or reject. Many therapeutic models like IFS, internal family systems, and somatic therapy work similarly. Wilhelm goes deeper by connecting those patterns to soul evolution. You're not just healing your trauma, you're reclaiming your purpose. It restores autonomy, cognitive behavior training. Wilhelm's guidance consistently returns you to your personal power, your ability to choose your thoughts, regulate your emotions, and create new meaning. This aligns with the core of cognitive behavioral therapy, which is widely used to treat anxiety, depression, and self limiting behaviors. Wilhelm's method activates this healing through spiritual insight, not clinical diagnosis. It activates your true identity, self actualization. Psychologist Abraham Maslow identified self actualization as the highest human need, the drive to become who we truly are. That's exactly what Wilhelm's work helps you to do. It guides you past fear, ego, and external expectations to the authentic self that's always been there. In short, Wilhelm's work changes you because it's aligned with truth. It works because it reflects how your brain, body, and energy field actually function. It works because it speaks to your soul's deepest knowing. It works because it returns your power to where it always was, in you. So to spend my entire life developing this and creating something that I know can change anyone's life and selling it for some ridiculous amount was me not loving myself. And I have to just be completely honest because people told me many years ago, said, Roger, you should be charging $5,000 for this. But I'm thinking, no, people aren't going to do that because they're just not going to believe it. Even though the proof is been here, it's in me. I've been showing it. And but it was my disbelief. We have cognitive dissonance. We've never seen something done before, so we can't believe it. I'd never seen this done before because all the information was in order. And it turned into something that's a philosophy for humankind. They said, we're giving you a philosophy that can uplevel anyone and create a new world. But we will look at that and say that's not possible. See, they warned me about this as well too, because they gave me all these messages before about what could be happening in our world where the money would take over, because we've been controlled by that. And so if I'm not saying that this is like $5,000, then you're not going to believe that it's worth anything, and then you won't do it. And that's exactly where I've ended up. So I ended up not loving myself by not honoring what I was given and what I was doing. And I didn't want other people to do that. And there was one thing that was pointed out to me earlier today. The one message that I was given about your story, everybody's story is important. Well, I wasn't honoring all of mine because it was like, how could I tell people that I went through all these things? How could I tell them that I suffered this much, that I went through depression and every kind of illness and healed? How could I do that? And that's me not honoring my story like you might have done. But I do know that this work can take any person to understanding who they were. It's just based on science. It's just, and the laws of the universe. That's what it is. And so I have to really, I'm going to do the presentation, but I'm going to be changing my rates. I can't do this anymore because I've been suffering because I love people so much, and I've been trying to get people to understand, look at what's happening. It's energy. It's you not loving yourself. That's all. And I can feel what you're going through because your soul is saying you're supposed to do something and you're not taking that step. And then that's when everyone else takes over. We're moving through a time in our world where, it's Wilhelm said many times, we've gone through this where the autocrats and autocratic governments and that will want to gain more power, and the democratic ones will kind of fall apart. And that's the people. That's happened throughout history. And they gave me a new way. They called it your life operating instructions, a new way to live your life so that you can create a very different world. Everyone's not going to believe that, but you'll have to decide if you're going to believe it. And I'm going to have to decide that I will believe it. And I have to change this. It can't go on like this. So I advise you look at the program and you can see what's there, and make a decision for yourself. However, but I just wanted to give you all of this because I could probably feel what you're feeling right now. Being intuitive, and this is what Carl Jung said. He's hmm, says one of the most difficult personality types is what I have is an introverted intuitive because I've been so introverted I couldn't talk about this. And then he also said that he got to a place when he was asked, "Do you believe this?" And he thought about it for a while. He said, "No, I used to believe, but now I know." And that's where I am. I know that this work can change anyone's life and take them to the success that they're supposed to have. I don't have that much time to kind of get it out there. So I can't, and the extent of the energy that we need to bring into the world in terms of love right now is really, really important. But you've got to get over your disbelief. I mean, I put something up that any person could afford. Any single person could afford, but you'll say, nope, I'm going to continue to seek, I'm going to continue to suffer, I'm going to continue to be in fear and depression. Those are all the things I had to go through. I wrote the book about fear. I was depressed, clinically depressed for a while. This work changed all of it. But getting others to accept that is, again, in our consciousness. And we have an individual one and a collective one. And the collective one is what we're attempting to change, but it takes each of us deciding that we're going to love ourselves a whole lot more right now. And yeah, that's what I'm going to be doing. Thank you for being here. Please subscribe to the this channel and please share this video with others. Come to the presentation because I will do that presentation because I need to explain more. And then I'm still looking for partners who want to take this work further because it's that valuable. I can't keep it where it is now because people just won't believe unless there's a lot of marketing, a lot of things done that you know coming to understand and accept ourselves is the most difficult because we all come here to do something. Anyways, you will understand. Love yourself more today. That was the message for today. See you soon.